You're watching the morning show. My name is Ida Romchana. We're going to continue with our discussion with Dr. Mushanga. Doctor, I would like to ask you, why are we poor? And it seems like it is all over Africa.
Well, there are a lot of factors that have contributed to our poverty. It all goes back to history when a lot of people were deliberately sold like goats and cows to Europe.
Slavery.
And Saudi Arabia and India. A lot of people. Do you know how many people were sold?
I do not know the exact number, but I imagine there are over millions.
Where over 150 million were sent to America. Over 300 million went to Asia.
There were more people that went to Asia than went to...
Yes. Because it was easier, they were just driven like cows until they reached the Suez Canal. Where let me even think the Suez Canal was not there. There was the canal, but it had not been dug to be a big channel. So people could cross very easily into Asia and Europe. Many people went to Europe, more people went to Asia and India than those who went to America. But unfortunately, those who went to, I mentioned it earlier, those who went to Asia, especially Arabia, the male were castrated, and the female were married, and the children who were boys were castrated. And in America, they did it the opposite. The more children a Negro woman bore, the better for the owner.
For the business.
Yes, he could sell them, he could make them grow more crops and build houses and roads and so on. So the poverty in Africa has become endemic, originating from that incident of the people were sold away.
Why is that?
Then secondly, when the Europeans came, they exploited the Africans' resources. You remember that they used to mine copper and cobalt in Wenzori mountain at Kirembe. Now, is there anything in Uganda to show for it?
Nothing at all.
That this college or that road or that institute was set up?
And why did we allow them to do that?
Because we were independent people, we didn't have a voice. We didn't have a voice. And I worked in Kirembe mine myself.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did, and I wrote a book, Frustration and what? Labor and Frustration Underground in Kirembe mine. So when I was about to complete it, one of the managers confiscated it.
One of the managers at Kirembe Mines?
Yeah, Europeans. So they didn't like me to expose the terrible things that I had seen while I worked in the underground. So the poverty that we are talking about, when the Europeans came here, they didn't encourage us even to make progress out of poverty.
They had ulterior motives to the whole thing.
They were under no obligation to improve our understanding.
They didn't care.
They didn't care. If we could grow coffee, which they took away, if we could herd cattle, and they take away the skins, if we could grow cotton, and they take away. In Tanzania, imagine, people being made to grow sisal.
It was
sisal?
major cash crop.
Yeah, but imagine, people didn't even know this terrible plant. It had a sharp end, like a knife.
Yes.
And they were made to grow shambas and acres of this plant. And nobody explained to them why the Europeans wanted this plant.
Why did they want it?
They took it to make whatever they were going to make. to make a goodness sacks, to make whatever, ropes and things. The Africans were to grow that. Even cotton, nobody explained to them that we are taking it because we can make cloth out of it. The Africans didn't know. We were meant to grow this cotton business.
And the sad thing is, they made them grow it, they took it away.
Yes.
They made the clothes, brought them back,
And
the same people
yes,
to buy them.
And they made money. You see? And then the poverty continued. There was no direct effort to say, let us improve the lot of these people. Even when education came, it was purely by accident that the missionaries at Mengo
Yes.
started educating people.
Purely by accident.
Yes, because the government was not
Interested.
You imagine that the first doctors, the first nurses were trained at Mengo by missionaries. The government was indifferent, it didn't even bother to. The first schools, Budro, Gayaza, Mwiri, Nyakasura, Centrio, Kisubi, they were all started by missionaries. But the government of the British was not bothered. What they wanted was to exploit the natural resources, take them, gun down the buffalo, hippos, what are they? Elephants, and take their tusks.
But haven't we had enough time to recover from it and make a difference and get out of this
Yes,
hell
we have
of
had a plenty of
poverty?
time, 50 years and so on. We should have been able to say, we have made this progress. But when they were talking about 50 years of independence, what is there to show for it? What have we done? Many, many years ago, let me tell you, my dear, many years ago, I was lecturing in the University of Nairobi. And I suggested in a public lecture at Nyeri,
Yes.
and I remember it was Friday, and I gave a lecture in Nyeri, and I said, what have we done, we as East Africans? Why is Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania not able to make a bicycle? And you know, there was an institute. The first engineering school was started in Nairobi. And that was a Friday. I traveled back to Nairobi
Yes.
in the evening.
Yes.
The next day, I took a plane. I went to India for a different program.
Yes.
For 4 to 5 days a week, I came back.
Yes.
And I found the government of Kenya was looking for me.
They were looking for you.
Yes, because somebody in the government of Kenya said, who is this lecturer called Mushanga, who's giving the instruction to the government of Kenya?
So they wanted to arrest you for
Yes. They want to arrest me. Then I pleaded that, but I said, why the government of Kenya and the Uganda and Tanzania could have combined the effort to make a bicycle.
That's all you said.
That's all what I said.
And they were-
And somebody was saying, I'm giving you the government instructions. So the government of Kenya, the Attorney General, in fact, ordered that I be removed from the university. And fortunately enough, there was a man who was in charge of the Department of Sociology, Professor Philip Mbisi. He immediately went to the government and said, this man is teaching 2-3 courses in the university and nobody is teaching them. Criminology, psychology, and philosophy. And if we remove him, we don't know what to do with the students, especially the graduate students.
Yes.
So they came and said, no, okay.
You can stay.
But watch. And what was very strange that one of the girls in my class, in my master program, was a daughter of Karizi, who was Power Secretary in the office of the president. So when it reached him, and he had known about me, then they intervened and said, I leave the money.
And they stopped, halted it.
Yes. And of course, again, I was in charge of all Ugandans. Were over 50 in the university.
That's a big number.
And I was in charge of them all.
Okay.
These Kawajeres, there's Okot Pabitek, there's Taban Young, there's Francis Zaverio, Nagenda, they were all there.
There were many.
Yes. So I decided, I said, if this happens, I will go to Tanzania, in Zambia.
Yes.
And then they hurried it and said, no.
Hushed it.
Yes, hushed it up. But here's a situation where I say again, why are we poor? Why are we poor? We are poor because our leaders have not taken it up as a priority to advance economic development. We begin to say we have a university. There are now about so many universities in this country, but there are no practical programs. A year or so ago, you had something, the United University students at Makere made a car. You heard of it?
Yes, I did.
What
There
became
wasn't
of it?
Nothing.
Yes.
Never heard about it again.
Yes, we've never heard of it again. Instead of making it a national issue, our students have done it. Nothing.
Are we always going to be like this?
If nothing breaks the circle,
Is it possible to break the circle?
it is possible by having a new vision, a new vision, as the newspaper is called. Because now you begin to say, why are Africans poor? Have you ever had people calling a seminar? Or you watch TV every night? Have you ever had an economist being interviewed on the radio about to explain the incidence of poverty?
No.
You never see them. Have you ever seen a professor on this TV explaining something
No.
about
It's
malaria,
possible
about
politics.
backwardness, about illiteracy, about what happened to extramural, where people used to meet every evening and get university teachers teach them, especially the clerks, the people who didn't have degrees. Even if you have a degree, you may have had a degree in political science, but here's somebody coming to teach you who has a degree in business administration or in rural development or in psychology. The extramural was almost ignored. It's no longer there.
It used to help a lot of people.
A lot of people, even in classes, weekend study groups, they are not there. Seminars. When they want seminars, they go to Rachitura or to what? Church. There's a seminar which has ended so much. Chankwanzi. That's about politics. But it's not about, maybe they touch something on economics and development. But this should be very serious fora for discussing issues at every level. Get all the district councillors into a group. Every weekend, one week in Chisoro, another week in Barara, another one in Poto, in Uguru, discuss issues of development.
How does
Have you had any minister in Uganda? I live in Mushanga, in Barara, in Kabohe. Year after year, I have not had any minister visiting any area in Ankole to hear that the minister was in Rwampara explaining government policy. Another one was in Nyaruguru explaining the programs of health. Another one was in Isenjiro talking about education. You don't hear them. And they are over 70 seated in Kampala here. You ask His Excellency the President, why don't these ministers go out to explain government policy, to hear what people are saying, to know their needs?
To know about the rules and laws
The
that
rule,
govern
yes.
them.
How are the people reacting to government policies. What are their needs?
But and the people themselves not doing enough to find out.
But the people
They're
have
not
told
curious
you,
enough and
I've told you that people who are illiterate, over 70%, over 75, 85% of the people in this country are illiterate.
they're not going to.
They are not going, they don't read news, there are no newspapers. How many people can afford the newspaper every day? The only person I know in my home is my wife, who buys booklet every day and reads from cover to cover. The rest of the people don't have, first, they don't have the money to buy the paper. I try to suggest them that every 5, 10 houses should buy one paper and read it and pass it over and over. But there's no reading culture in this country.
No, there's none.
Nothing.
There's no reading.
You find
culture.
people who are primary teachers, a year in, a year out, he has never bought a book. You find the people who are university educated, a year in, a year out, he has never bought a book. You find that Banyakana, Bachiga, Batora, Banyoro, almost 5 million people, the whole year nobody has written a book.
No one has read a book. But then I'd like to ask you, if we know for a fact, like you said, that the West, the white race, does not like us, they don't think much of us, they even question whether we are human beings or not, then why are people every single day lining up for visas? They would kill, they would steal, they would do anything to get a visa to go and move to their countries and live with them. What are they looking for, and why the
You
urge
know,
to do
human
so?
beings behave like insects. If we kill a goat here, the flies will begin coming in.
That's
People
true.
go to Europe because they think they can make it.
Can they?
Well, some do. And there is money there. People are not going there for fun. They go there. Wamanicha waitecheyo.
Yes.
70% of the Cheyo people are doing prostitution, men and women.
Oh my God.
And here we are, Akobe
Men
Cheyo,
and women.
Akobe Cheyo, Cheyo Chkobotia. Where, which Cheyo do they do? I mean,
Prostitution.
it is prostitution. And you know, a young person like this one, man or woman, especially a man, you can't land in London and without having a man. Within 2 hours, half a dozen men will begin pinging you. Yeah, how are you? Hey, this is your first time to come to London? How nice. Yeah. You find out. You.
So why are people going there? And
Because there is money
instead of
working here.
no, but instead of leaving to go scrub toilets, to prostitute, and especially as a man, it is so degrading. And doing all those low-collar jobs, why not stay here and make it? Where you'll be king in your own country.
Have you ever heard of the government organizing a program of how to educate people without jobs, how to create their own jobs? They don't do it.
They're
People
trying.
don't have, they don't, people don't have the courage, their knowledge. They don't know how to start. Sometimes you heard about the president mentioning something like funds for the youth.
Yes, they did.
Okay, what happened to it? I don't even know whether there are any youth groups which have made use of this.
Initiated.
Yes, because some projects are announced and they are not implemented.
They said there will be free money for
Free money for the young people to go and do things, but that to me, I thought it was a bit out of context, because if you give people, a young person, you give him maybe 10 million shillings, what is he going to do? How does it start? You may give it to him, he's going to drink it. He's going to smoke it.
because he doesn't have
He doesn't
the knowledge.
know the knowledge. But then you go into the schools, what are they teaching? They are teaching geography, they are teaching history. Horror, they are teaching religion. And there is no course on development in
That's true.
the schools.
That's true. It's true. Most of us have left university. We have left secondary school with no real equipped knowledge
No.
manage your finances,
Yes.
to develop.
Yes.
We
People are
don't
not
really
taught
get
how
that.
to be self-reliant. People are not taught how to take the initiative in different areas of life.
Use their
But
hands.
then they're getting degrees in dance and music. They are getting degrees in religious studies. And if a person gets a degree in religious studies, what can he do if he's not going to be a priest? What can he do?
Be a pastor.
Okay, but a pastor who cannot be a pastor. Me, Mushanga, can also take the bread and say, at the last time when he took the bread and broke it, and he gave it to his disciples, he said, eat. This is my bread, my body. And whenever you eat it, you remember me. And this is my blood. And people have been drinking that blood, it has never got finished. You know? So who can't do that? Do you need to train a person to be a priest? Do you need to teach a person how to pray God?
No, you don't.
No. And do you need even to pray God? If God knows all my needs, why do I have to pray Him? Me, I've never prayed to God, but I'm not a destitute. If He's there, the one who's sending me support, He knows He put me in the world, therefore He takes care of me, whether I pray or I don't pray. And He's not a human being that we should praise Him. No. He doesn't live by our prayers or by our thanks. You know, thanking God is like bribing Him 7. Why should you bribe a head of state?
He's doing what he's supposed
Yeah,
to do.
exactly.
So he requires no praise, thanks,
No
or
way,
acknowledgement.
no. And for me, He gave me permission. I don't pray Him. I don't thank Him.
Oh,
Whatever He says, He knows what I need. Whatever He thinks I need, He says it.
thank you very much, Professor. It's been fun having you. Thank you for taking the time